Hi, I'm Bridget, and thank you so much for joining me for day 21 of 30 days of 10 minutes of yoga. And we're going to get started today in a nice, comfortable seated position. We're going to be moving through a really nice, slow practice today so that you can take a moment to pause and just enjoy that moment of stillness. So just taking whatever seated position feels most comfortable, getting nice and tall through the spine and closing down the eyes. We find that first pause, that first moment of stillness, connecting with the breath. We're going to see if we can become really nice and present in this moment. And I like to do that by counting the breaths as they pass, 1 with the inhale, 2 with the exhale, all the way up to 10, and then coming back to start again at 1. You might notice that the mind starts to wander off, just noticing that, not judging anything. But when you notice, bring the attention back to the breath, back to the present moment. Dropping the shoulders away from the ears here. Seeing if you can let go of any tension that you might be holding through the body. Relaxing the muscles of the face. Relaxing the shoulders. And then when you're ready to move from here, we're going to make our way into a wide-legged child's pose. So coming onto all fours, we'll bring the big toes together, walk the knees as wide as a yoga mat, and then sink the hips down towards the heels. Reach the arms out nice and long in front of you, letting the forehead rest on your mat. Coming back to the breath. Inhale, feeling the body expand. Exhale, melting down towards your mat. Pressing those hips back down, reaching through the arms. Feeling the breath moving through the body. We'll take 3 more nice deep breaths here in our child's pose. And then when you're ready, we're going to come back up onto all fours, bring the hands back underneath the shoulder blades, walk the knees back underneath the hip points. We're going to make our way to our lizard lunge. So we're going to step the right foot to the outside of both of the hands here. So we've got both hands to the inside of that right foot, and then sink the hips down. You might tuck those left toes under and walk that left knee back a little bit here. We've got those right toes turned out at about a 45-degree angle. And you can either stay here on the palms, or you might like to come down onto the forearms for 3 nice deep breaths here. Closing down the eyes. Going inward. Relaxing through the shoulders. You can relax through the head and the neck. And And then when you're ready, coming back up onto the palms, we're going to make our way into our pigeon pose. So walking the hands forward a little bit so that you've got space to heel toe that right foot over towards the left edge of your mat, and then sink that right knee down towards the mat and lower the hips down. You can bring that right foot in a little bit closer to the body here, whatever feels right. And then we'll round forward through the spine, relax through the head and the neck, resting on the forearms, sending the breath to that right hip. One more nice deep breath here. And then slowly coming back up onto the palms, we'll tuck those left toes under and then lift the hips back. We'll bring the right knee back to meet the left. And then from here, we'll find our lizard lunge on the other side. So we'll step the left foot to the outside of those hands, turn the toes out at about a 45-degree angle. You can either stay here on the palms or lower down to the forearms, rounding through the spine, relaxing through the head and the neck. And just taking this moment to connect with the breath. Close down the eyes, find stillness. Opening up through the hips and the legs. Seeing if there's anywhere that you can release a little bit more tension. Softening anywhere that you don't need to be holding. And then slowly coming back up onto the palms, we're going to make our way to our pigeon pose on this side. So walk the hands forward a little bit here so that you can heel toe that left foot over towards the right edge of the mat. Sink the left knee down. You can tuck those right toes under and walk that knee back a little bit if you need to. And then you can draw that left foot in towards the body a little bit more. You can either stay sitting up or you can come all the way down onto the forearms, folding forward, closing down the eyes. Take this time to connect with the breath. Relaxing the shoulders here. We'll take one more deep breath. Exhale, letting it go. And then coming all the way back up onto the palms, we'll tuck those right toes under, press to lift the hips back, bring the left knee back to meet the right. We're making our way all the way back to lie down, so coming back through seated. Take your time to get there. We'll lie back. Keep the knees bent when you get there. We're going to take our supine twist. So we'll hug the right knee in towards the chest, send the left leg out long, nice and active through the toes here. So draw the toes back towards the knees. Then you might like to lift the hips off the mat just for a moment and shift them over to the right. Then we're going to sink that right knee down to the left side of our mat. Seeing if you can keep the shoulders pressing down into your mat. It doesn't matter if the knee doesn't get all the way down to the floor. Send the arms out into a nice big T shape. And then maybe turning to look at those right fingers. The right hand, give the fingers a little bit of a wiggle. Closing down the eyes. Sending the breath along the length of the spine. Keep the breath moving. And then when you're ready, we'll slowly melt it back to center, and take it to the other side. So we'll hug the left knee in towards the chest this time. Send that right leg out long. You might like to lift the hips, send them over towards the left edge of your mat to give you a little bit more room to twist. And then on an exhale, sink that left knee down to the right side this time, seeing if you can keep the shoulders pressing down into your mat. We'll send the arms out into a nice big T shape, maybe turning to look at the left hand. Give the fingers a little wiggle. Sending the breath to the back. And then slowly we'll come back to center. Make our way into our Savasana, so sending the legs out long. Bringing your hands to either side, palms facing up. And we'll close our practice here in our Savasana. Just staying with the breath as it passes. Becoming really present in this moment. Checking in with how you feel. Seeing if there's anywhere that you can relax a little bit more. And I'm going to leave you here in your Shavasana today so that you can stay here for as long as you would like. Thank you so much for joining me for this practice today, and I will see you tomorrow for day 22.